Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be on unresolved emotions, right? So we're going to get to that in a minute or two. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths. It is funny, the cicadas are kind of quiet and then I come out here and I start talking. And I literally think they're turning up the volume just by hearing me talk. It's kind of bizarre. And Tractor Boy's over there, but I'm not going to let that disturb me and stop the video from happening because I want to shoot the video. It's Friday night. It's about 6 o'clock and I'm not going to wait all night to shoot the video because I want to kind of disconnect, unplug, and enjoy my Friday night. So, alright, unresolved emotions. What am I talking about there? So as Dr. Sarno pointed out, oftentimes through our early childhood experiences we learn that certain emotions are bad. And so sometimes the brain can just automatically repress these emotions, meaning it's outside of our awareness. We have these emotions and the brain just locks them up, throws away the key, right? Which is why some people with really bad traumas, early childhood, can't even remember them because the brain is protecting that person from these traumas by literally repressing and locking them up. Now that's not all that goes on. I think there's a number of other ways that we don't resolve emotions. So I think conscious resistance, getting all pissed off but saying, oh, I don't have time for that, right? And then just kind of moving on and just not dealing with it, not feeling it, not experiencing it, just kind of, I don't want to do that. That may also come from the perception that these emotions are dangerous, because when we get pissed off, if we think that makes me a bad person, we don't want to be a bad person, so we push it away. Or if we've gotten angry in the past and we've kind of exploded and, had an outburst at people that we know or don't know, and that's gone poorly, well, we know that I can't do that. So what do? We consciously choose it. We shove it away and we go, oh, I'm not dealing with that. Right? Because there are cases where it's not socially acceptable to get angry or sad or cry in public or whatever the situation may be. So there's subconscious repression. I think there's conscious suppression or resistance. Right? I think another unresolved emotion is where we kind of cling to it, hold on to it, and we ruminate on it. And we kind of hold on to grudges and resentment, right? And even regret for ourselves. These are also unresolved emotions because in that case we're allowing them in, but we're not allowing them to be felt and released. We're just kind of clinging to them. And that can create all sorts of emotional energy, right? And so, what do we do about this? Simply put, if we don't want that emotional energy to build up and build up and build up, especially if these are negative emotions that we're not resolving, combine that with other life stresses, pressures, tensions, fears, worries, health anxieties that we've either been taught or we learned through our own experience. These unresolved emotions can also be perceived by your brain or our brains as potentially dangerous. That's where Sarno was right, that the brain's trying to distract you. I don't know if it's a distraction or a protection, or we don't have to know because there's no way for us to scientifically know the right answer. But let's just agree that these negative emotions that our brain has learned are not acceptable, let's call them just a perceived danger. Not a real danger, because emotions are not dangerous. Sometimes our response to the emotions can be, if we have all these uncontrollable outbursts and create all sorts of social chaos in our lives because of our outbursts of emotions. But the emotion itself is not dangerous. So generally what I suggest is to give yourself space and permission to actually feel and experience and honor and acknowledge these emotions. Because when you do, they don't stick around, they don't accumulate, and they can resolve, so to speak, and they can release, right? There's nothing that we have to do, no fancy, ceremony to imagine ourselves holding a bundle of balloons with all of our emotions and 1, 2, 3, let's release them, We don't have to do anything like that. If you like those types of things, great, but I'm not a strong proponent of that kind of stuff. My belief is let's keep it simple. When you notice your emotional intensity elevated, give yourself permission to feel it, experience it, right? And that's enough. That should be good enough to allow these emotions to be felt and resolve. And so, are you resolving your emotions, or are you shoving them away, consciously or even subconsciously? Or are you clinging to them and ruminating on the stories behind them? Because I will say this, part of TMS, not the whole thing, but part of TMS are these unresolved emotions and that emotional energy that we're carrying around. Sometimes that emotional energy is self-directed. We're pissed off at ourselves. We don't like where we ended up in life. How did I get here? Type of questions that that enter our mind all the time. And so, it's important to give yourself permission and space to acknowledge and allow yourself to feel these emotions on an ongoing basis. And the purpose of this is not, I got to feel my emotions so I can get rid of the pain. No, we want to feel the emotions to teach our brain that they're safe to be felt so that the brain doesn't perceive them as dangerous any longer. The net result of that, along with eliminating a whole bunch of other danger signals, like movement, like fear of our body, like the belief that we're broken, all that other stuff. But by eliminating emotions as a cause or a concern of a dangerous thing happening, that's one less perceived danger that the brain's going to want to try to protect you from. Plus, it feels good to experience our emotions. Anybody here? Raise your hand, comment below. You ever have a good cry? Get a good cry out? You just feel this sense of relief afterwards, like, oh, that felt good. Didn't like crying, but it felt good to get it out, right? And so, allow yourself to resolve these emotions by feeling them so they can release and leave you alone. And that way you're not accumulating them. So I don't have too much to say on this other than that. Learn to resolve your emotions. How do we do it? By feeling them, by being okay with them, deciding, and it is a decision you can make, decide that emotions make me a normal human being. They don't make me broken, out of control, mentally ill, sick, crazy, none of that stuff. Humans are supposed to feel emotions, and they're called feelings because we oftentimes feel them in our body, right? We get choked up, feel it in our neck. We got a heavy heart, feel it in our chest. Feels like a punch in the gut if we get our feelings hurt. And so, just feel. If you're not sure what the emotion is, you don't have to label it. You can just experience it. If you don't know why you're feeling a certain way, that's okay. You don't need to dig up the story. Just experience it and feel it. And you may find that as you put this into practice and make this just a part of who you are, you're probably going to start to have a little bit less of this negative emotional energy kind of weighing you down. And long term, it just feels good to do that. Forget pain, forget symptoms, forget TMS. Just in general, life gets easier when you allow yourself to experience it emotionally. Running away from the emotions, shoving them away, repressing them, consciously or subconsciously, clinging to them, just makes them more powerful. So if you want these negative emotions to have less power over you, experience them. Let them sit down next to you. Embrace them. Say, hey, come here. I got you. Sit with it as long as you need to, and then it'll pass. I do want to clarify. Somebody got mad and was like commenting, oh yeah, Dan, you were telling me that we should feel the emotions as long as we need to. Well, I have to work and I've got kids and I can't just sit around, feeling emotions all day long. I don't have that kind of privilege. And it was very interesting because she equated feeling emotions to money and privilege, which absolutely not anything that I was intending to portray in these videos. And so I'll just say this: anybody, rich or poor, regardless of color, social status, regardless of your situation, everybody and anybody can learn to just experience the emotions. And it doesn't have to be an all-day thing. You don't have to sit and just be with your emotions for 8 hours a day to get better from this TMS stuff. I mean literally, you can notice that your emotional intensity's up, allow yourself to feel it, and generally within about a minute, minute and a half, that emotional intensity will start to subside. And for the people who say, I don't have time to do this work, everybody goes to the bathroom. While you're sitting there, just experience the emotions, right? So that thought just came up for that comment I got probably a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to touch on that. So anyway, love you guys and gals. I'm gonna go enjoy my Friday night. Saturday, when you're probably watching this video, heading up to Mom's, gonna spend a week with her, staying overnight with her, make sure she's good. She's out of the hospital, seems to be doing good, still has some fear, still has some she's a little bit pissed off that she's gone through what she's gone through and might be losing the amount of independence that she's had, because she's been completely independent, and I think she's afraid that she might be losing some of that. So wish her well, send her prayers. Anybody who's doing coaching, you're going to see a different backdrop behind me because I'm going to be doing those calls from her house. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you.